kind of parent are you? What kind of dad is
Oh,
Steve
God. I have 3 children,
How old are they?
12, and I have 17-year-old twins.
Okay.
And, it's challenging. It's an ongoing, you can't fire your kids.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it. That's the problem.
So you had kids later in life then?
I did. I did a lot of things later in life.
Yeah. How old were you when you had your first?
I broke my virginity at 43.
You're lying. Stop.
So silly.
And how old were you when you had your first kid? Do you remember?
49.
Okay. So yeah. Later. So you were clean.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Well, that's when we started that's when the seed was in the belly.
Yeah.
So, but he gave me a look over there. He was like doing the math, but it was 49, and it's great. It's the greatest thing ever, but it's difficult. My son is a high-strung kid and very much like me, and he's involved. He's in a relationship, and it's very tumultuous.
The relationship?
Yes.
What are they going through?
Well, I don't know what they could be going through. Like,
he's 17?
Did he not carry her books home from school? I don't fucking know. But,
Was he texting other girls?
It might have been that.
Ugh. Worse. That's the drama at 17.
It could have been that. So it's drama, and he's back and forth and dealing with that. And
have you met who he's dating?
Yeah, I see them. The kids come up.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, it was different when I was growing up. Mm. My parents didn't know shit, and they didn't know anything I was doing. I went out, I came home. They didn't say, who are you with? What did you do? Yeah. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. And my mom especially was like that. She wasn't a question asker. I think because she didn't want to know.
Yeah.
Today, it's different. You're up in your kid's business today.
I've heard a lot of people on this podcast say that too, like people that are a little bit older. They're like, oh, we had no supervision. You just send your kids outside and hope for the best.
That's exactly what it was. I mean, I never was like, we're going to do this. We're going to play ball over here. It was never that. We just went out after school, played ball, did whatever, came home for dinner. It wasn't anything like that.
So you raised yourself?
Well, it's not true either.
Yeah.
That's not true. Definitely, my parents shaped me in their own way. There's not much you can do if you think about it.
Did you have siblings?
Yeah, I had 2 older brothers, okay. But there's not much you can do. You just teach them right from wrong. Like that thing that you went through. That's an obvious thing. Like, don't be nasty to people that work for you.
I was telling Steve about a job I had before and they sucked.
Yeah, and I would really be upset with my children if they were nasty to someone that was in our employ. That's a hot button issue for me.
Yeah. Why is that?
We like to say, you were born on third base, but you didn't hit a triple. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so you be grateful and be nice to people. And that's one thing. I mean, that's something that they have to learn. Not everybody comes out knowing that stuff.
Not everybody is concerned that their kids come out that way. And I think like with the previous boss that I had, this is many years ago, Steve and I were talking about like when I was a nanny and my family was amazing, but there was this other family. They didn't want their kids to have gratitude. They wanted them to know that you run this.
It's a different philosophy. It's not what I believe in. Mm-hmm. I believe in gratitude and, you're lucky and be nice because karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
And so, just be so grateful. And sometimes I forget. We all forget. That's the human condition. But I try to remind them of that. But you try to teach them right from wrong. I do have a feeling that not much that I do will matter. I do. Really.
What, in terms of your impact?
Well, don't see the girl. See the girl. Find another girl. Like, none of that shit. Like, what?
Do you give advice on that kind of stuff?
Of course I do.
Mm-hmm. Why is he offended?
He does not listen to anything I say, my son.
Maybe because you're his dad. He just doesn't want to.
I should try the strategy of telling him the opposite. Mm-hmm. See if he does that. No, he doesn't listen to me. He does what he wants, as I did.
Do you think, as someone who I have to assume has privileged kids, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that if a kid is growing up, I don't even want to say upper middle, like rich. Let's just say kids are growing up rich.
You can use
How would you even instill in them those bottom barrel jobs?
Very tough.
Waitressing,
tough to do.
Retail.
Yes, but people do it.
Would you make your kids do that?
My son and my daughter work in the stores.
Yeah,
Not as much as I.
Yeah, but then they're like known as Steve Madden's kids.
Yes, but they do work, and that's true. But the next step will be maybe work where they don't know who they are.
The other thing is that young people who are incentivized to work is probably because like their parents can't afford something or because their parents refuse to pay for it. How do you contend with that? Because I'm sure you can afford the things your kids are asking for.
It's really tough.
If they're like, Dad, I want a brand new car. I'm turning 16. I want a range.
I'm dealing with that now.
Oh, right, because you have a 17?
2 17-year-olds. I'm dealing with it.
And who are you to say no to them because they know you can afford it?
Correct. I'm dealing with it now. I'm trying to say the work that you do now is going to inform your whole life. Mm-hmm. It's going to make you more successful. The fact that you're working in a shoe store. It is a very daunting task. It just is. It's one of those things. They do. They exceed it all the time.
So they don't really need, are they getting paid at the Steve Madden store?
No.
Maybe
they're gonna start getting paid. Well, I just wanted to get them in because they
have them get paid and have their allowance be whatever they earn.
Yes, it's tough. I'm thinking of going to a strict allowance now. That's my new thing.
What's their allowance?
They get about $10,000 a week.
You're lying. But like a month?
No, no, they don't. And I try to be strict about it, but they are always tugging at my heartstrings.
What's their allowance?
I just saw an Instagram with Ben Affleck. His kid wanted a pair of $6,000 sneakers. Kid said, we're rich. He goes, no, you're not rich. You're broke. I'm rich. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Ben, way to go. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ben Affleck. I love him.
What's their allowance?
Huh?
What's their allowance?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
You know. You know.
It's a problem. We got to get tougher.